everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Something in the Dirt. $6.99 on Amazon. A little rich, but I went for it. Usually I wait until it comes down a little bit. As you can tell, I'm always last. But I was scrolling through TikTok as I was looking through movies, multitasking. And somebody on TikTok, again, said, this is a very underrated film or hidden gem kind of thing, and it's really good. And I had to turn him off because I didn't want to, because he started to tell me exactly what the movie was about, and I don't like to do that. I only read what IMDb says, and this is about, there's a filmmaking duo, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, and they offer up a twisted reflection of our paranormal times in this inventive mix of buddy comedy and sci-fi thriller. Now, it's only a 5.9 on IMDb, 2,400 people rated it so far, and so we'll see. I don't recognize anybody else in it, but I believe it's like the documentary style kind of movie, but we'll see. Hour and 55 minutes, so although it is kind of the weekend, it's a Sunday night, but no work tomorrow. So, alright, so I'll get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. Stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Something in the Dirt. We're at the 57-minute, 3-second mark. Just under halfway. There's 58 minutes and 22 seconds left. So we're a minute away from halfway point. But, pretty interesting so far on what we've got here. So we've got really two characters, the Levi and John, and essentially they live in the same apartment complex. Levi has just moved in. He meets John, who's lived there for 10 years. They kind of become friends, right? And John is helping Levi move into his new apartment. He gives him furniture, whatever, and he's in there. And at some point, he starts to notice paranormal activity, we'll say, right? Because that's, I think, the term that they use. I don't know. But really, he has like a crystal ashtray that starts to float. And the sun comes through it and all that kind of stuff. And now some other things have happened since then. But essentially, they see this, and now they're like, okay, how do we prove that this happened? And they start filming a documentary. And So that's really what it's on. They're seeing different things. They're trying to figure out what's going on, what's causing it. Them being in the room, them not being in the room. They're taking shifts, and we're getting to know a little bit more about them themselves. John or Levi, I don't know who's who. I thought they were the opposite, but anyway, the guy who lived there for 10 years had a boyfriend, I believe, or maybe he was married to him. And lived there for 10 years, and they had moved out. That his boyfriend or husband had moved out. And the other guy who just moved in, he kind of was a bartender, was in an old apartment, kind of moved into this one recently, and also has a history. I'll just leave it at that for him. Hasn't played a big role yet, but it has come up. And they also are interviewing other people. So they're the two main characters, but they're interviewing other people like in a post-movie way, right? So it's post-event way, I should say. And they're talking about the things that we're watching the two of them go through. It's not making 100% sense so far. There are some pieces that are missing. We just found out the guy who just moved into the apartment is thinking of leaving LA, which was kind of a surprise, right in the middle of doing all this. And I don't know, there's some different pieces here and there that are getting thrown in that I think are eventually going to roll together. But right now it's kind of mysterious, hopefully. So we'll see. So interesting what we have so far. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, because I think this is kind of what they're talking about. They talk about our current society, and they keep referencing a TED Talk I heard. I saw this on YouTube. You know what I mean? All these different channels where we get all this information from. So I find that interesting, because that's what I think they're trying to do in this movie is bring that in. Like there's so much information out there, paranormal activity, aliens, all that kind of stuff that's all over the place, and they keep referencing it as they're witnessing what's going on. They're talking about, well, I saw this you know, on a message board and stuff like that. So I find that little nugget a little bit interesting. So anyway, that's where we are so far. Oh, recreation. They started talking about a recreation. So it seems as though that they're filming it, but instead of using that piece, they recreate it so that, I don't know. We'll see how that plays into it. That's just a little piece that I found as well. So, like I said, almost an hour left, so we'll see where it goes. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. We're at the credits of Something in the Dirt, and I have to say, I don't know, mixed emotions on this one, you know, as usual. Interestingly enough, I don't know if I shared this. I can see it now because it's right here. Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson directed it and starred in it. And I did a little bit additional research prior to doing this, and it just happened during COVID. So from my understanding, and this might be accurate, might not be accurate, is that there was a three-man crew, those two and another person who helped them put this all together. It's a very weird kind of movie, right? And you don't know how to take it. That's why it's weird. I mean, it's not weird in the you know, the subject matter is about paranormal activity, of course, which is weird. But that almost becomes secondary in this film, and it becomes more about the two of them. They're trying to figure it out. It's like a scavenger hunt. They're figuring out clues on what's going on. Meanwhile, not reporting this, just documenting it, you know, and trying to do that and trying to capture as much as they can. And they kind of allude to the fact I mentioned earlier that they have to recreate some things or something like that. I don't know, but you know, it just continues, and they take it for granted at times. You know what I mean? Things are floating around and they're just arguing, you know, or talking to each other or something, you know, not even drinking a beer. It's funny, the one character, he, you know, hadn't drinking in 10 years, not for any reason, just because his husband didn't drink. Then he starts drinking right away after he meets his buddy there. So, not a big deal, but it was just interesting. They slid it in, but it didn't make a, you know, big difference. So, and that's what you find yourself doing, is looking at all these different things, like what's a snake skin have to do with any of this? What happened to the alien strawberry? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of weird things that go on that really don't get answered, and I was kind of afraid of that. Now they did, you know, but it's meaningless, I think, in the point of the film, but it left a lot of questions unanswered, I think, when you get done with this, which is fine. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it really bothers me. In this case, it doesn't bother me. It adds a little intrigue to the film, but the overall tone of the film was just, you don't know how to take it, which I also like. I think that's neat. And because of that, I looked up, and I had no idea. I had seen The Endless, which was one film I saw by them, and Synchronic was another one. But I found, oddly enough, I keep saying oddly enough, sorry, Spring was in 2014, actually is on my watch list. So I'm going to get to that one sooner rather than later. And then Resolution was another one I heard mentioned. And now I see Breathing Happy. So I don't know what that one's about, but we'll see. And so, while I didn't love this film, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't pay $6.99 to watch it, but I did. I wouldn't advise it, just because, I don't know, but I see the potential there. And knowing that I saw two of their other films, especially The Endless, which is the one I think I saw, and knowing the type of film, it's really interesting and strange, and that kind of makes it fun. So I will that, and so watching this, I'm going to go ahead and definitely, you know, check out some of the other ones that I haven't seen. I think I'm going to start with, what did I say, Spring. I'm going to start with that one and move on. So while this wasn't a home run for me, I don't think, it's opening a door to see other ones. So, you know, I don't know how to even explain that, right? Like, I don't like it a 5 or 6 on this one, but there were so many elements that I liked that makes me want to see more of their film. And because I saw something else by them, and it's like, okay, I don't rate them that high, but they are different than your run-of-the-mill film. I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully that's helpful in some way. So if you've seen any of theirs, you're probably going to watch more. And it could have been just because they were limited with the COVID stuff, and that's why, I don't know. There are just some more things that, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. I'm rambling now, but the $6.99 won't be just for this movie. It'll be for all the other movies that I will now see, and might like, might not, but I've found more to add to my watch list, so not that I don't have 200 movies on there already. Alright, that's it. Hopefully I was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.